So much for taking some time with us. First and foremost, we are all glad that you guys are safe and okay. But Judy, let's go ahead and begin with you. If you can take us back to that moment, were you even able to process what was happening there at the rally, which you were in attendance of?
No, it was very surreal. He had his thing up. He was talking about immigration, and we were just listening to everything he was saying, and then we heard gunshots. At first, I wasn't even really sure that was what was happening. It sounded like it was coming from the left of where I was, and then Secret Service was shooting back, and then they got him to get behind the podium. You know, Trump, they got him down on the ground.
You mentioned the Secret Service shooting back. Did you see that moment where they were returning fire?
Yeah.
I, I'm gonna chirp in. So, I before that, like the shooting started, I looked up because there was two snipers on each side of him, like on the roof behind him, and I saw them pick up their guns, their rifles or whatever it was, and the next thing I know, like that's when I heard the shots fired. We all got on the ground and saw Trump get, jump on the ground, have Secret Service push him over, and just really crazy.
And
It definitely sounded like two distinct sounds. Like
Yeah.
the first sounds we heard were like more of a pop, and then the what we think was the return gunfire was more like a more distinct gun sound.
Andrea, as you guys are sitting there now, I know it took a while to get out of the rallies because now it's an active crime scene. And so they were stalling traffic for a while. And so now that you're able to kind of sit back and remove yourself from that situation, are you still able to process what's happening, or what are your thoughts right now, looking back on what has now happened?
So actually I was separated from my mom and Tristan. And so me and this other lady who got separated from her husband, we were kind of like sticking together, and it just kind of like gave me hope for a moment that like we all can come together. But in the moment I was trying to keep her okay and keep her sane, and then I just didn't know how to react. I was trying to convince myself that it just wasn't real. It's just so random and so surreal.
And Judy, I'm curious too. We've been able to attend several Trump rallies. We know the security process in that site, in that venue there in Pennsylvania. What was the security access like to get into the area where you were for that rally?
So it was very secure. We had to go through metal detectors, empty our pockets. They were wanding people, but the perimeter of the area seemed very open.
Yeah.
Like there was just a chain link fence. Like, I went to the rally when he was at Latrobe Airport, and that seemed more secure. This seemed like way out in the open, like anybody could have hopped a fence. But if you were an attendee going in the proper way, it did seem secure. They were checking everybody.
And Tristan, you had called it crazy. Attending that rally, going there earlier today when you got into attendance, was it possible to even imagine something like this were to happen?
No, it wasn't. And I felt very secure, like the Secret Service, they do their best job they can, but things happen, and it was just crazy seeing Trump get shot. Like it's just shocking. Like you don't see that happen. That happens in like third world countries. You don't see that happening in the US like it does other places.
And Andrew, you had said that you were removed from your family. You made friends with another woman who is removed from her husband. In that moment, you said you felt a little bit of hope. I think as a young voter, what would be your message to anybody with this political climate today, where it has now escalated to this level? What would be your message in hoping bringing people together now in such a tragic moment?
I think it was just like it gave me the hope that there are good people out there, and that you have to always think positive. And like just because there was a shooting, yes, that is a tragedy, but I mean, people were passing out all day long and everybody was taking care of each other, and it just gives you hope that there are good people in the world and you can lean on someone's shoulder whenever you need to.
And Judy, you had mentioned that you've been to a Trump rally before. You went today.
Yes. Yes.
Moving forward, do you feel differently about going to more of these events?
No, I don't think so. I think that if we end up not going to these things and showing support, then the people that are perpetrating this act are getting what they wanted out of it. So
All right. We thank
But
you guys so much for your time. We're so glad you're okay. You know, and I know it's a moment you'll never forget. And ultimately, we're glad you're okay. And we thank you so much for your time.
thank
Thank you.
you.
have a great day.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Again, glad you guys are okay. You be safe driving home and try to decompress tonight.
Yeah, we